Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for your greetings. Yes, today is March 8th, and in my country this is Women's Day. I don't know if all countries are celebrating it, but thank you very much. And I just want to also announce from the very beginning that tomorrow I can't make live stream because I need to go and pick up my models from Boston. Actually, at 10 o'clock I will be already there, so I need to get up very early to reach Boston on time. So today, after today's issue, actually it should dry because the plan for today to prime this little model, and because I need to send after I primer it this model, so I have to dry it minimum 48 hours. At least manufacturers are claiming that it will be completely dry in 48 hours, but I'm usually keeping even 3-4 days before I will send it. So this will be just proper timing for this model. So, and today I have to still finish some sending, like I need to make this roof, if I can say this is roof of the cabin, because it is bigger than it should be. I don't know how much visible. Yeah, you see how big hanging on the sides, but should be on the perimeter 1.5 millimeters or 1/16 of an inch. So we will send this, we will send all these joints, and I probably will use a little filler, especially where I was using that 7 pins to put in proper position these rails and wales. So I have some traces from needles. I need to use some filler, and I don't like one of the corners. Let me turn on this camera. I don't like how I made these rails because I was watching through the camera and gluing something. So if you can see, it's not parallel to the stern actually. So this toy rail should be unglued, and I need to fix this side to make it parallel to the stern, to make it beautiful, because when I will paint it, it should be black, so it will be very contrast color. It will be even more visible than it is now. While the model is still wooden, it's not that noticeable. So I need to unglue, rebend, and glue it back in proper shape and position. Something else I wanted to do with this model, maybe final touch, final sanding. Yeah, I also have to sand properly this part of the bow, just to make it the same shape as actually this part of the bow. So what else I wanted to do here? So actually the plan, if I will do it very fast, so then I will work on the cloth for the sails. So we'll see how fast I will work. Usually I'm planning to do a lot of work, and in the end of the episode I barely can make half of what I have planned. I'm trying to also open it on live chat on my phone so I can see your questions. Don't know why when it is jumping on my phone I can see it immediately, but when it is just on my OBS I can't notice it. But my phone is not working. Why? Just want live chat. Okay. So I know that I'm missing sometimes questions in the live chat, so drop them in the comments under the video. I will answer them after live stream. And I'm glad that you liked the video which I published yesterday from the show. I visited it on Tuesday. I also got my award for the little shallop. And so it was a long trip to visit that show and ship modelers meeting. So it was double pleasure when I got that award. Actually, tomorrow I'm planning to visit also art museum if I have enough time. They have a small collection of contemporary models, and if it allows to be photographed, I will make photos. Because this is actually should be your inspiration to build models and how to build them. You can see how in that 18th or 18th century, depends when in where that model was built. Just can you imagine how it was difficult back then to build that model without all these power tools which we have today? Without sewing machines. The sewing machine, I believe, appeared at the beginning of 19th century, somewhere 1830-ish, don't remember exactly. But can you imagine how it was sewn back then? Just by hand, completely. All the seams, everything was stitched manually with hands. And this is my biggest inspiration. Every time I'm visiting such places, I'm getting back home and I'm working like with double productivity maybe. Or actually after each show also. So I need this ship modeler shows, competitions, conferences, just to get this magic kick. Because sometimes I'm just sitting, I'm just rotating model and just I don't know what to do with it. I don't like it, I don't want to do that, I'm lazy to do that. But after such shows and competitions, I'm coming back home and I'm working really with double productivity for sure, at least. So let's start working on this one. I already covered around me almost everything because I will use my air compressor, and I just will say a few words. I will not use it on live stream because I just will destroy my camera, my laptop, everything what is around here. I will destroy with these primers. It is very, it has very massive or bigger area when you are spraying it. So when you are using such primers on your model, just spray it for a bigger distance. I will not use it because I have air compressor and I can use it in front of my camera because it has smaller quantity of paint spread all over the place. So it is still complicated to use it online, on lives, but I will use my air compressor. But to show you how how to work with these paints, I have in the description under this video a link to my other video when I was painting my Pinky schooner. I used actually this primer, this red or pimento. I like this color. On my screen it's more pinkish, just how my screen is showing me this color, but in truth it is like rusted red, and I just like it on my Pinky schooner. It's just perfect for bottom paint. So if you want, you just can use this color. And this is what I was used before. Usually all my models was maximum painted this under waterline or bottom paint, and not all of them were painted, so it was enough for me back then. But when I start working more on such type of models where I have to paint them, and actually everything began with restoration of the frigate Boreas. It was somebody, I believe, prime it maybe, because layer base was perfect, but or just somebody made some second person who was finishing that model made some damages to paint and were just painting using brush on top of the original paint, because even two different colors of blue were on the frigate. So I scraped everything what I could. Sometimes it was just glue spilled on the paint and then painted with blue, different blue paint. So I was scraping off, sanding everything on that model and repainted completely that frigate. And without air compressor and airbrush, I couldn't do this to the level when it should be, just to fix all that mess which was created on the model. So that's how I got my air compressor, and now I will start working on these painted models with it. So let's sand and prepare it for to be primed. Yeah, if you will see original boats, it will inspire you even more. I like to go somewhere to watch ships or models at least. Okay, I will use, I believe this is 100, and this should be 200 or 320, good. So I will use this one first and then the smaller one. Maybe I should cut first, because it's a lot of sanding. Or just will sand it. They have oil-based primers, and this one is not. This is all-purpose, so it's just good for acrylic paints. I'm not using oil-based primers and paints, never use them. They also smell awfully, and I don't have any ventilation here, so even when I was using behind this wall, I have a corner in the basement where I was using this type of paints, and it was still entire house can smell it. So this is minus of using such primers and paints. And oil-based even more stronger, let's say. will use Vallejo or Vallejo primer, and this is what I will use. Actually, I have some Model Expo very beautiful color for bottom paint. I believe I have stolen this from my husband's, one of his kits, which he started and never finished. Don't remember which one. I believe this one for bottom paint. Copper red. This one. Again, my camera is not showing you the exact color what I'm seeing. It's more brownish, not that red like here. Need to check my... or it is just on my screen, on different screens and can be different. But this is MS4814 whole copper red. It's not copper, just beautiful color for bottom paint. But of course, before I will use it on the model, I will make a sample just to check what color I'm applying. And this is also an advice before using anything on your model, just because in the group where we are building Lobster Smack together and who is building it with me, one of the modelers is working on a different kind of model, and he used this Indian ink. Visually it is like soaking into wood and makes beautiful black color. Different type of wood can become like ebony, but he has a problem. It's not drying. It's still, he can touch it and he can get some that black ink on his fingers, and this is really not good. So, and right now it's a challenge how to dry it or what to you finish to use, at least to like conserve it so it will not be if you will touch it, it will not leave some color on your hands. Okay, I covered everything, I did a good job, but now I need to search for some tools. So to avoid such mistakes, try, you have, when you're building model, you have some cuts off, some pieces, bits and pieces. Try to apply any kind of stains, paints, colors, or inks first on such samples, and then try to apply different finishes. And then if you will like the result, which you will like, you can use on your model. This can help you to save your model. Sometimes it's really... I have seen such awful mistakes when somebody decided, oh, I bought beautiful stain, it was so beautiful on the samples in the store, let's apply it on the wooden deck. And in the end of the day, person got absolutely dirty deck, which was... If it was on a bigger piece of wood, it was beautiful, but on the model, when everything in scale, it just soaks into a grain of the wood and just made the model look very dirty. And it wasn't possible to fix, so the only he could do just rip off all the deck and make a new one. So that was the only solution in that moment. But so just to avoid such mistakes and to avoid troubles, try to make samples first before applying anything on the model. Actually, I never seen this plastic wood. In my country, nobody used it, so I don't know how it behaves, but I have seen it in the stores. Just have to try if it will work, if it will not, if you can glue everything to it, if it not peels off together with second layer of planking, why not? You can try everything what is convenient for you, or what you have at the moment at the hand. Sometimes I'm using what I have in my workshop, but I know what I would like to use if I have money to buy something. Just sometimes the situation dictates you what to do and what to use. I'm thinking about to cut it because too much sanding. Okay, I bought 2 new knives. I don't know if I have shown you in previous episode, because my assistant, I have seen how he stolen this little knife. He dropped it from the table, start playing. So it is somewhere in the workshop. I moved tables, boxes, everything what I could I moved, checked under the carpet, I can't find it, so I have to buy a new one. And just my oldest knife couldn't hold blades anymore, so that's why I bought also a big one. So I have 2 new knives. To show you how I'm doing this, something like this. Of course I want to film it. Yeah, it is a lot of sanding. Better to cut it. The easiest way to do it with the rotary tool, but since I'm showing how to work with the tools which you have in your box, if you're buying that kit with tools, so I'm using similar tools just to show you that it is possible to build with all the tools minimum which you have in your kit. Maybe slower, but that is the point. You can build models without all that power tools. As I said before, you have to start buying power tools only in that case when you are building it for living and you are earning money for this. Then you have to speed up the processes, so then it makes sense to buy power tools. Although about rotary tool, I would recommend to have it, even if it is just a hobby. This is just must-have tool. The rest I will sand. Repeat it on this side. So we just got recommendation and feedbacks about this plastic wood. Just because when I used first time filler on the model, it was just wooden filler, and it was between first and second layer of planking. I understood that no wood filler at all, because my second layer of planking was peeling off together with that wood filler. So after that I started using this double component body filler for car repairs, or this Bondo body filler. Actually any double component this filler or putty will do the job. It's practically epoxy based. When you are mixing 2 components, it dries fast and you can sand. Especially for car repairs, you have that the finest one. Usually for the last layer is made out of very fine grain filler. It is very light and easy to sand, and just creates perfect surface for painting. Also, if it is painted model, just absolutely perfect. And if you will try something good, you don't want to go back for wood filler, regular wooden filler. Okay, more with scalpel, and the rest I can sand. I have some ruler just to start checking. Almost. Something is bigger here. So now I need to shape it. I need to send more here. That's why, so like for example, Bondo, it is very stiff, and especially when you are working with basswood like here, it is dangerous. What just Thomas said, that it is very stiff and the wood is very soft, and you can make not even surface. It will be like you're sanding soft wood together with stone. That's why I prefer to use it body fillers for car repairs, the finest ones. They are lighter, even in weight it is very light, and it sands perfectly together with basswood. I will show you mine one more time. This is universal one, so not the finest one, and I have one fine one. This is this fine. So this is with the smallest grains, but actually they are very similar. I was pleasantly surprised. I like them both. Oh, дякую, Yuri. Yuri just greets me with Women's Day today. Okay, about HMS Victory, which is the best kit on the market. Який краще HMS Victory на ринку, я сказати не можу, бо я будувала лише для Агастіні. І те, що я бачила в інших комплектах, не бачила жодного ідеального. Мабуть, з усіх відгуків на форумах про Victory я читала про... Give me a second, I will remember the manufacturer of that Victory. Vanguard, or... I'm mixing two manufacturers, Vanguard models and Caldercraft. Don't know why I'm mixing them, but one of them have very pretty much decent model of Victory, very good quality wood, and even if you don't have all details there, you can use additional books to make it perfect and very high detailed model. Just from the very beginning you are getting very good quality base for improvisation. Oh, I'm talking in English. Я кажу, що я плутаю два виробники Vanguard Models and Caldercraft. Один з них має дуже пристойну модель Victory, має навіть, здається, там груша у комплекті. Тобто ви маєте шикарний базовий комплект, на якому ви можете імпровізувати і модернізувати вашу модель до ідеальної, використовуючи додаткову літературу. Просто перевірте, який з них має Victory. something is not perfectly even, I believe. Need to send more here. Now I want to round it, this finest one, and I believe I need to send something here, like, not perfect. I think Okra has that victory on frames, but it was absolutely fake frames, just to, it's practically like bulkheads when it was convenient for the manufacturer to make that fake frames. So it's just fun, that wow effect of how the model look, but it's not real frames. I believe, I think I have seen something similar with Bounty model. Don't remember who is the manufacturer, but I think I have seen Bounty too. Yeah, we just tickling my husband's eyes with victory models. Yeah, there is a lot of even similar in difficulty to build, and even with bigger quantity of guns than victory. But victory is a very popular model. It's still ship which exists and you can visit. Probably that's why it is so popular. Actually, I'm thinking about to make a video just because I miss probably that time when I was building my victory, and how when I visited the real ship, it was like, oh, I built this, I remember these parts, oh, so this is what it is. So just you're trying to understand and finally how it looked on the original ship and what for it. So I'm thinking to make a video, just fun video, how I build model of the ship which I visited, and just to compare all that parts, how it looked on the original ship and how it was done on the model. I think this is just interesting, just fun, just to remember how it was built. I believe I finished it in 2019, so it was already almost 6 years ago. I believe it was spring, actually, 2019, end of the spring, so practically 6 years ago. Now when it is same color as the deck, you can't see if it is perfect shape or not, but when I will apply, I want to make yellowish deck as it was on the Day Sailor, same color I will use, but I want to make a roof of this cabin maybe grayish, so just to make contrast on the model. I don't know what was in the kit. In the kit it is white. I can leave it white, but I'm thinking about gray color, and it will be visible if it is not perfectly shaped. So this is a very important stage of building. And I will use a little file because I can see some glue remains. And all these drops which are not very visible right now, when you will prime your model, you will see all these drops of glue, everything, and it should be removed. So the more I will clean it now and prepare and make the surface perfect, the less I have to sand after I prime it. The same also here, something not even, and I can see the drop of glue here was something. What is my favorite tool? Yeah, I actually, before I was doing my live streams, I was watching that channel with live streams. Miguel, I believe Miguel, the name of the owner, and actually he was the one who inspired me. It was interesting, just I was turning on his channel, working on my models. It was fun, but I was thinking like to build something like HMS Victory, if he's building it right now. I haven't seen his channel quite a while, since I'm publish in my streams also. But you have to build it really only following the instructions fast and dirty just to make streams interesting. And my religion is a little different for models. I am showing how to improve your kit. If you are taking very simplified model, you can make a masterpiece of it. Just add a little more information, more books, you can find more details, and you can improve your model to quality of museum models and more historically accurate. So this is what I'm doing. I found a new term here. We don't have anything similar in Ukraine. Kit bashing. So this is actually what you are doing. You are taking kit and you are improving it to the point when it is historically accurate model, and when it is very difficult to see was it kit build more based on kit or was it scratch. Even if you just will replace ropes and blocks, and the kit will look much more, not just beautiful, it will be more accurate, it will be more realistic, and just so it's sometimes just a question of buying ready beautiful ropes and blocks, just a question of cost and money. But it is possible to improve your model just replacing the ropes. Something is not right. This part is sticking out more than it should be. So it's not visible for you. So here it is just same surface, but here it's sticking out more. That's why I'm sanding it. Actually, I can remove stand because I will prime it, so it's just in my way right now. Come on. This will be more convenient to work with it. I will glue stand after I paint my model, so it will not be in my way while I'm painting bottom. Come on, my files already are not that sharp, I believe. After I made 30 oars for the Osber ship, my files need to be replaced. Actually, talking about Osber ship, yesterday, day before yesterday, I just got completely disappointed. All the time I was thinking like something wrong with the model, what's wrong with its shape? And then I decided to fix the deck, which I will show you in the next video. But I started counting frames and couldn't understand what is going on. And actually the mid frame is literally in the middle of the model when it should be shifted towards the bow. And quantity of the frames from mid frame towards the bow smaller than quantity of frames towards the stern. And that's why it's completely different shape even. So from the very beginning this kit was impossible to improve to a level of historically accurate model. Even lines are wrong, and that was the biggest disappointment. Just because I don't like to leave something what I started doing. I don't like to finish to leave something unfinished. So I will finish that model, but it will be just plus minus visually from the distance 5 meters Osber shape. It's completely made up model, and this is the biggest disappointment. So I like, for example, Amati's models. They are using real lines of the ships, so you are getting a model or base on which you can put everything, all details, and to create it historically accurate. But this Osber ship, it's right here. Just from the very beginning, is impossible to make historically accurate. Because, as I said, even mid-frame is wrong, and position of the mast is wrong. It should be more forward, it shouldn't be in the middle of the ship. So just 100% disappointment. yes, anti-symmetry in that also is very beautiful. And very big model. Okay, almost there. Just inconvenient to do it when I already glued this part of the model. Why I didn't before, I don't know. Wasn't smart. Everything what I cut, trying to shake it out. Some parts stuck. Okay, now I need to shape this part, and I need to reglue this part of the toy rail. Yeah, Philadelphia model will be big and quite tall. So if you don't want to have such a very big model, you just can lower the topmast, or even put it on the model like it's winterized. If you want, you can build also that slip stand from which usually boats and ships were launched, and so that's how you can make it smaller. Everything is possible, but this will be a very good training model. I believe it's up to 60 centimeters long hole, 56 centimeters. If you will tell me the length of it, because I don't remember, or I can check it. Okay. Need to send this. Yeah, this is right now I don't have such problem like to find place for models. That's why I'm not pushing to sell them. I can leave them, all of them. Before, it's for me very important to sell models, because if I want to build next one, I just have to empty my table, because in small apartment I haven't even shelf where I can store them. So it was just my table where I can build them, and then I have to sell them. Sometimes I was leaving them in the museums. And museums are very happy to get them for exhibition, but because that museums even in Kiev, they don't have proper even temperature and humidity during winter. So in winter it's cold, in summer it's hot. So I was just letting them exhibit it only when it is a very good and perfect conditions or perfect time of the year. So during the winter I would take them home, or searching somebody who can take them until I sell them. Okay, just some glue. Don't know how much visible, just I'm trying to clean it. Maybe I need to use small quantity of filler here. Actually, I can use right now that balsa filler, so will not wait long and mix that double component filler. For such small gaps, cracks, I am using that balsa filler. Let me show you in a moment. Something is smashed here. I just want to round it a little. It wasn't 90 degrees on any boat, just because if it's something sharp with 90 degrees edge, you just can even cut your foot or something. Better to round it. That's why everything is so smooth on models, on real ships, not models. But this is what I will do on the model. Something is not even here. Maybe a little more sanding here on the corner. And what is that kit? Phantom? Phantom, I believe it's schooner. Or no, it's pilot boat. Actually, that Phantom pilot boat, is it with copper plates in the kit, or you have to, if you want to improve the kit, you have to make them? Just wondering if it was very cheap kit, and if it is with copper plates, it really worth to buy it, because usually kits with copper plates are very expensive. And she was coppered. I think I like it now. Just if you glued something on one side taller, on one side lower, and it creates some waves, better to shape it to a smooth, perfect height, because later it will be very visible. It should be white color. And just while I'm sanding, I will talk a little. When you are painting model and you have white, black, red, green, blue, doesn't matter which colors, better to start from the lightest colors, because on white paint you can put darker colors, but if you will paint everything black and will try to put on that layer white, this will be a pain in the neck. So you have to move from the lightest color shade to darkest. So this is what I will do. I'm using usually gray primer. It's very good and practically under every color, or even white. Maybe I can apply sometimes 2 layers of white paint, but on this gray primer everything goes smooth and well. I think Winchester, this is Chuck Passaro's model, and he makes his kits already so historically accurate that you don't have to improve it. He already provided you everything. I believe you can buy it like that. I was buying magazines with parts of, like, for example, first it was some frames, then planking, etc, etc, etc. So Chuck created something like you can buy part piece by piece. First like frames and skeleton, like actually, so frames and bulkheads or keel, and then you can buy planking, then you can buy decking, then you can buy all bits and pieces. So you can buy each actually part of the kit separately, like in that magazine, so you don't have to pay from the very beginning huge quantity or amount of money, which sometimes is just crazy. But when you're buying like monthly each next part, it's not that expensive, you're enjoying it, and you can see if you can build it. Because that was my fear at the very beginning, why I haven't started it earlier. What if I will buy such an expensive kit and I can't build it? So that's why I started with that magazines. And turns to be that I can. After that I stopped to be afraid of buying kits, because I know now that I can build them. But before it was a barrier. What if I can't, and it will throw away such huge quantity of money? So actually what I'm trying to say is that you don't need to improve in Chelsea. It is already 100% historically accurate, even with expensive noble woods. I believe he's using mostly yellow cedar and pear or something else. Pear, I believe. Or boxwood. No, pear. Pear and yellow cedar. Okay, now I need to shape this part of the bow. I remember it was something in the end, I believe, from rounded dowel. Let me check if I have to glue something here before priming. Let's fix this toy rail. I will vacuum clean this so it will not spread. I will turn off microphone so it will not hit your ears. Okay, and I will need soldering iron to unglue it first and glue it again. So this is that final touches before I will start painting, but very important touches. Let me check so it is the lowest possible temperature, 200 Celsius. And maybe I can just stick. Need to warm it because I have cyanoacrylate here and PVA, and combination of cyanoacrylate and PVA. Actually, yesterday, or day before yesterday, I was searching for Bob Smith Industries cyanoacrylate in local stores. Can't find it in Michael's, nothing in Home Depot, and even in Lowe's. It disappeared. And so the only what is left to order them on Amazon, because I bought some this low kit. But it's not the thin cyanoacrylate I found gel, what is nice. But this one is something between the thinnest cyanoacrylate and gel, or the gap filling Bob Smith Industries, something in between. And I need sometimes the thinnest one, especially for ropes. So I will use this one. It is working fine. Perfect, I would say. Just sometimes I need different kind of cyanoacrylate. Yeah, it's true that at the very, very end, I remember that magazine with first kit, Galeon, San Giovanni Battista, first magazines were dirt cheap, then first 25, I believe, then price double from 25th number to 5th or something like that. So every next 25 magazines were more expensive, and the last 25 were like 5 times more expensive than the first 25, something like that. But when you already build almost 70% of your model, you will buy the rest of them too. So I think this was the point, that if you want, you will to build this model, you will buy even that expensive magazines. Maybe a little more rounded edge. Good enough. I still have some water, and I will need brush. Ah, good job. Come on, wake up. Oh, yes, it is working, but give me a second. Just to make it sharp so you can see what I'm doing actually. Just so I will not burn it. Just water. PVA softens and becomes like just sticky, so you can work, if you will work fast, you just can put your knife under it and it will glue. And spots with cyanoacrylate, they just clicks. I think it's good enough. So now I need to bend it a little in different way. Where is my brush? Oh. More water, or I will clean first and then more water. So I need to clean this old glue. Just in the moment you are removing your soldering iron, PVA glue again cures and become stiff. Clean this part. Come on. Maybe I will glue a little farther, just a little, to get space for maneuvering. Perfect. This should be enough. Just to clean this mess. yeah, I draw the line not perfect, not parallel to the stern. So this is the result. Now let me make or bring camera closer so you can see it better. Actually, the next exhibition will be in my city, in New London, in April 26th, Northeast Ship Modelers Conference, 42nd, I believe. Yes, 42nd Northeast Ship Modelers Conference. And it's already posted, I believe, in all ship modelers clubs around here. And I believe the club New Jersey hosting it this year. New Jersey Ship Modelers Society. Don't remember the exact name. Something like this. Okay, now I need to bend it a little earlier. Water. I need water. And unbend here. So let me warm it up and then we'll see how I will work with this. This will be the challenge. I probably could remove this before I warm up the soldering iron, but it's just too late. I have to work like this. Where is my... So I need to bend it without breaking it, preferably. And I also want to show you this. Oh, this is a challenge. Or at least I will warm it up and will make it elastic. I will use probably something like clamps just to hold it, because it is without stand now. Somewhere here, just two over here, just to hold it right like this. Oh, just want to make it perfectly visible. Need to bend it right here as a... Well, you can do it, it's still elastic. And then I will cut it to proper length. Something like this. Okay, I need cyanoacrylate and PVA. Or I can, if I can find my quick and thick tight bond, have put it somewhere, or Imbir has stolen it. PVA and a drop of cyanoacrylate. And needle. Actually, I need two needles. my phone is not working and not showing me anything? Oh, finally it is showing me. Okay, so when I apply PVA, and then I will apply cyanoacrylate. And few drops of cyanoacrylate here in the middle and in the very beginning. Let me hold it a few seconds and I will clean all this glue which is sticking out. How to show it? Just I will give it a few seconds more so cyanoacrylate will be cured completely. But I will clean all this sticking out extra glue, and I need to glue somehow to create this more sharp radius. Let me take something so I will not damage it. This one is sharper. I believe now it's perfect. Yes, so now I have to glue it like this. I will turn off my soldering iron. Don't need it anymore, so I will not grab it hot. Because I can. Oh, thank you, now go. Let me finish it. Then it will be good. Making a mess. To take some 2 drops of cyanoacrylate. Should hold it in position while it dries. clump it with my fingers. Thank you very much, Lida. Brilliant idea to empty the wallet. Oh, I'm still holding. I think if you are enjoying this hobby and you are working hard, why you can't deserve even expensive kit? I remember while I was working as a civil engineer in my country, we have even narrower specification. I was building only roads and streets, so I'm road engineer, if I will translate it literally. And sometimes after arguing with builders, because builders are always right if you didn't know that, and you're just coming back home angry, you want to break something, smash something. So I was taking a piece of wood, sanding and gluing it, and then like, whew, better. This is my type of meditation. If I can get my nerves calm with this hobby, why I can't buy a more expensive kit? So this is just for my health. Great, I haven't filmed that. Good job. Just to clean all this glue. And I will use some filler right here. It's not beautiful corner. I think I have sent everything. So slight filler and we can finally prime it. Yes, it's true, you are spending a lot of time to build it, but if you are getting pleasure and you are getting calm and just enjoy it, so this is the point to have a hobby like this. So just to be original, I will use this, this is for balsa, a very light filler, and I'm using this quite often in such places where I can't reach, very difficult to reach. It is not very sticky while it is wet, but when it dries, it's very difficult to remove. So this is what I like it about it. It's very difficult to put in proper place, but then when it dried, nothing can rip it off. So I will use for these tiny traces from needles, if it is visible on the camera, right here, such small hole. When I was using that 7 pins to put in proper in here, here it is more visible. So I will use to fill these tiny holes. Also, I want probably this gap like between the joint just to make it smoother. Something else I wanted. Maybe I don't like how it glue under this. Can't see it. Under this roof there is a gap. Can't show you at a different angle. It's not visible, but I know it is there. Okay, just trust me. Under this roof there is a gap between this bulkhead and the roof. I just can't show you this. It's in my way. Oh, almost. Yeah, you can see it. Tiny gap. So I think this is it. And it will dry fast. And I don't like this corner of the stern or deck or transom. This is what I want to fix. It's very light. This is probably, that's why it is favorite of wood filler between aircrafters. It's very, very light. Okay, let it dry. Maybe it will do the same on this corner. Just is very thin, very easy to damage. And after I glued these whales, just created weird angle. It's better to sand. Okay, now this gap. Here. Maybe this gap also in the bow. It dries also fast, a little slower than that car repairs body filler, automotive body filler, but more or less fast. While I will prepare my air compressor, it should be ready to be sent. So now this traces from needles. So actually it will take me 1 or 2 minutes to prime it, but it takes me almost 2 hours to prepare it for it. Is your tool an old screwdriver? No, this is broken file. It was almost completely broken, so I just sharpen it at an angle. Let me clean it and I will show you. It is broken file. Don't know why it reminds screwdriver, but you are not the first who is asking it. It's still, you can see still some these traces when it was a file. You see? So I made at an angle and sharpen it at an angle. So now, so you can scrape the glue at different angles. Okay, where's my knife to clean it? Just want to clean it a little. This is my old XL or something knife and blade. Perfect for cleaning. Usually I'm cleaning needles after cyanoacrylate. And now this. Let me check if I need to apply somewhere. Oh, something is in the bow. When I glued this whale, I created a gap here. So let's close it also. Okay. Now let it dry a little while I'm preparing my air compressor and airbrush. I have something, I don't know if it's enough in this bottle. I have a new bottle of primer. So let's finish this one first. And I will clean a little everything from the table. Don't want to be painted. How about soldering iron? It's not hot, I can also hide it. Under the cabin roof. Thank you very much. I forgot. It is not really visible, but I just know it is there. On the opposite side, even smaller one, but I will do this too. Something even in between this bulkhead. Crap. Let me check. I can see this little tiny gap or something. I don't know if something will be installed. So let me check. Maybe I should also use it. Let me check the drawings. Not this one. If nothing is there, I need to close it with something. In this drawing I can't see anything, so just this frame. Nothing here, so maybe nothing. Let me check instructions. Nothing visible in the picture. If nothing is there, I need to use filler also before I will paint it. This is what I'm seeing. So nothing is here, any trims, so in this gap right here. Then I will close it with a filler. Let me show you this. You see this like squarish? I thought that maybe some trim will be on this edge, but nothing, but it is not really beautiful, not pretty, and creates eye poking spot. Same on this side. But it's even visible more on this side, so this is something what should be done about it. Okay. As I said, it's very tricky and picky to be glued in proper place, but when it dries, difficult to remove. Okay, we'll sand the rest. Let it dry. I will remove everything what I don't need at the moment, so I will not damage it with, and will not cover it with primer. Yes, I know, I'm telling you that use that canned primer and I'm using airbrush, but as I told you, I just can't use it in front of all this equipment. I just don't want to destroy it. I can go behind this wall and use primer and then come back and tell you something like I just use this canned primer, but I can't show you again. So that's why I'm just commenting it. But as I said at the beginning of the video, I put in the description under the video a video on painting or priming Pinky Schooner. This is where I use such type of paints and primer, so you can see how it works. Just keep it bigger distance from the model, literally, so you will apply dust on it. And better, you can make it in 2 layers. First thin layer, wait 1 hour or 2, and then you can add another layer, and then wait minimum 48 hours, better 3 days, before you will sand it. Just removing everything from here. Hiding everything, so I will not damage it. And I will cover my mat. Don't want to paint it. This is my blues. This is, I think this filler is already dry. In a moment I will sand it. Okay, this is a small piece. Good enough. Well, this is not even enough to cover my laptop, but at least a little. So I will cover also my camera and microphone, but first I will sand it before I will do that. Oh, thank you, John. And thank you, Thomas. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, it was really nice. This is first thin fish, this little sharp one. And it was, as I said before, tiny small model, but it is more difficult to build than, for example, USS Constitution. even if it is in 1 to 75 scale. Okay, I hide everything, good job. Now I need to pull it back, 320. I will sand it a little. Nice. Maybe I need to apply a little more on this corner. Let it dry, because here it was very thick layer, but here I can sand. So here. Not really can see what I'm doing. I need to clean under this roof. Under the roof, I have some very useful tool. This is such sticks. They are very similar, like nail polishers, just for ship modelers. You can find different grades of them. And just perfect in such tricky spots to sand. Oh, perfect. So I have hidden everything and now I'm getting out everything. Good job. A little more. Thank you, David. Oh, actually, I have shown it in yesterday's video, the beginning of the video. I have seen comment right before the live stream and I haven't answered who won first gold medal. Was it plastic? Actually, I don't know. I am not expert in plastic and paper models. Don't know, I just got that feeling that it is paper model. If it is not written in that label, I can't tell you what it was, plastic or paper. I believe it still needs to be dry. What if I will try to dry it with an airbrush? Paint, usually I'm using just empty airbrush when I need to dry paint. But actually I also will blow all the dust if it is inside it. Now I'm trying to decide how I can do this on both sides. Probably I will put it first on the stand back and then I will flip it. And this will be the most challengeable part. To flip it while it is primered on the upper part. It is good that it is not that easy to insert it. I think I mixed front and bow and stern, but for painting it doesn't matter. And I probably will use brush also in that spots where it is very difficult to reach, so like under the deck I will use just brush. I have also some paint thinner. Come on, something like this. Which brush to use? So many brushes, nothing that I would like to use. Huh. Where is my favorite brush? Okay, I will use this one. Just because I can't find my favorite. And I'm using, this is from quill eggs, very small jars so I can mix paint, throw them away, use a second one, different one. So this is old primer, this is new primer, same one. To blow all the dust one more time. If something left here at all, okay, I will flip it, let it leak down. But I will use it something like under the cabin, and probably I will do the same for the paint because it is very difficult to reach. At a very strange angle you can see it, so as maximum as I can see it I would like to paint everything. When I will put seats it will be even less visible. Oh, just filler, crumb of the filler. Let me think the rest I can prime. So let me wash this one. But I will cover my microphone and will cover my camera a little what I can, so I can't talk. Still laptop can catch some noise, but probably I need to cover more laptop also. Can't promise you that you can hear me clearly after I will disconnect my microphone, but just because I want to protect it. I will come back in the moment I will finish priming it. Okay, don't know how much you could hear me without microphone, but for now I will keep just for a few seconds. It will dry just a little so I can flip it because it's still absolutely wet. Come on, just want to open it. Actually, with the thinner, you are using more primer, I believe. When it's thicker, it covers much faster, or just layer becomes not that transparent. So I think when you are using thinner, it dries a little longer because you're repeating a few layers. But let me find a few wooden pieces on which I will flip it. And while I'm looking for it, I hope it will dry to the point when I can flip it. Just 2 pieces of wood. So we can chat a little. Actually, I can check if you have written any comments, because while I was priming, I couldn't see them and read them. But it's almost dry. 1 or 2 minutes more and I will flip it. Actually, these Vallejo primers, they are quite thin. I like them. But when it is with a paint thinner, it sprays smoother, sort of. So I like that I have to apply a few layers. And just, like, you can control, because the more layers, the darker the color. So you just can control it better, I think. I have shown it earlier. Let me repeat what colors I will use for this boat. I think to use for bottom this Model Expo MS4814 whole copper red. It's not exactly, the camera shows you it more like reddish, like berry, but in truth it is more brownish. Don't know, maybe the laptop can show it better. This is the color. Yeah, it's better color, more realistic color on this camera, and just perfect for that paint for the underwater line. And on the deck I will use same yellowish which I mixed for Day Sailor. It was this one, and I was mixing 2. Antique Gold, Deco Art, and Craft Smart Coral. I mixed them to, mostly it was coral and a few drops of this yellowish antique gold. And this, you can see this result on the Day Sailor, so I want to repeat that one. Black and white, it's obvious. Black and white paints are always the same. Doesn't matter which manufacturer. Yes, you can spray not only Model Expo paints. That's why I'm using this paint thinner. Usually if you are using such crafters cheap paints, they like under $1 sometimes cost, you have to dilute them something like 50 to 50 with paint thinner. And you can spray them easily. Yeah, you have more chances to clog your airbrush, like it happened with old primer at the very beginning of this video. Let me check. So that's why I was cleaning my airbrush and try to use one more time. Just when it's in old bottle, when it is on the bottom, it creates that stickish. It's so old. Let's say one word. It's old, and it's constantly clogging airbrush. So I think I can flip it. It's already dry to touch. A few more seconds, just to be on the safe side. So I think Model Expo paint maybe will need more paint thinner because it is very thick. But I like these paints. They say self-even, so when you will brush it, you can't see that huge traces from brush. Because usually when it is cheap paint and you will brush it with brush, your model, it is so visible, eye-poking, and just makes more model look not really good and pretty. But these paints, they are expensive, but they are really good even if you will use them with brush. Actually, you can use only a primer, that canned primer, and then you can use just brush to paint your model. When you will create perfect surface with primer, we'll sand it. I think that I definitely will have to apply second layer because don't know how much visible on the camera. It's hairish, so the primer raised all that hair because this is wood. This is not plastic. On plastic models, you probably can use only one layer, but after first layer, you definitely have to sand all this curly stuff, hairy, which primer raised from the wood. It's especially visible on these rails that it's sticking out. So this is why you have to spray primer and to sand all these artifacts. I don't know how to say this properly. And then you can brush it with a brush, different kind of paints. But if you want to use canned paints, I also have shown at the beginning of the video red color. Pimento, Rust-Oleum. Again, it's not that. Actually, it's more realistic color on this on laptop. So this is the color, more like rust red. I used this Krylon on my Pinky Schooner, and I put the video in the description under this video, so you can see how to use these canned primers and paints. Just keep bigger distance from the model and don't try to apply immediately entire layer because this is more difficult to do with canned paint. Maybe spray one thin layer, wait until it dries 1 hour and add another, just spots when it's necessary. Just don't try to cover it completely entire layer because in the difficult to reach places it starts creating that leaking drops, and the places where it is very easy to reach it just will be too thick layer. So just don't rush, what I'm trying to say. Thank you, Robert. Okay, let's flip it. It's definitely dry enough to flip it. And oh, I need to clean stand also, that metal parts. So let me remove it. Probably I will move camera further so it will be visible. Oh, and I will cover my camera. So let me cover my microphone and I will disconnect it while I'm priming the bottom, and then I will come back in 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. I think this is it for today, and it will dry till next Saturday, because as I said at the very beginning, tomorrow I'm going to Boston to pick up my models, and I can't see you because at 10 a.m. I should be there at the museum, and so that's why we will meet next Saturday. But it will be just perfect and good enough to send and prime it one more time, and we can work on spars next time. Or sails, or spars and sails. We'll see how much I can do during 2 hours. So if you have any questions today, please drop them in the chat. Right now I'm reading carefully. Or in the comments under the video, and I will answer them, because in a moment I will finish this live stream. This live chat will not be available up to 2 days. But in 2 days you even can translate everything. The video will have subtitles, and you can translate them in different languages too. I can open this. I can start opening my workshop. So if you don't have any questions, oh, my pleasure. You're welcome. If it helped, I am just very happy to do this. Just maybe when it will become warm, we can go outside and prime next model there or something like that. Just in the workshop to use canned primers, this is nightmare also because I don't have any exhaust system here. And even when I'm using this airbrush, it still smells a little, so you can smell it even on the first floor upstairs. My pleasure, Martin. I'm glad you like it. Thank you. As I said, this is my type of meditation. I like it. I can see some glue. So that's why you have to use primer, so you can see all this. But you haven't cleaned properly, haven't noticed somewhere a drop of glue or something. It becomes so clearly visible. So we will sand it next time, and we'll create perfect surface. Oh, let me move. No, wrong direction. So you can't see. You can actually see just model, not microphone. Thank you, now go. My pleasure, guys. Then see you in a week. And I will check our group build on Facebook group. Actually, a lot of people are already catching up with me. We'll see what are you doing with painting. And yes, Heroem Slava. Because of heroes, we still have Ukraine. I still have my homeland. I'm glad you like it. Thank you very much for comments. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. And I wish you a nice rest of the day. Or afternoon, evening, depends from which part of the world you are watching. And see you next week on Saturday. Bye. Oh, it will be fun if you can make to New London. This is one day conference or show. It will be a conference. We have some speakers. Actually, David Ancherel will be talking. Who are familiar with his books? He will probably bring one of his models, and he will be a speaker on this conference. So this will be very interesting conference, and we can chat live. I believe beginning at 8:15 a.m. drop off models, and at 10 everything official parts. Who is participating in competitions, sort of competitions. And then around 2 o'clock, 2 p.m. usually the official part began. Speakers are talking and raffles, so you can win something very useful, or you just can buy with discount at the conference tools, books, who will be available there. Usually they have discounts at this conference. So this is very fun and productive conference usually, and around 4 or 5 o'clock everybody is leaving home. I know that who is coming from very far usually staying somewhere in Mystic, and you can stay a few days there just to check that Mystic Seaport Museum. It worth to go there, not only for one day. I live here already more than 5 years, and every time I go in there, I can find something new and interesting. So, just advertisement of the upcoming event. I will post on the main page of the channel information about this conference, so with links where you can register your models if you want to participate or just to come and look at the conference. So because I believe entry is at the door $10 just to watch, and right now it's like something like $50 for participating, and at the door it will be $60. Thank you. So then, see you next week, and have a nice day. Goodbye.